Mm, mm. Good afternoon. Hello? Are we here? I think we are. Good evening, everyone. Hold on. Let me see if I can. There we go. We recognize this. Good evening, everyone. I am RJ City, and I just knocked the camera, and I have to adjust it again because I hit it with my foot. There we go. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am RJ City is After Dark. This is City After Dark, and I apologize if I come off a little habitudinous this evening. I have a lot on the go, and it's tiring me out quickly. But we're going to deal with today as best we can. I have my glasses, my robe, my cigar, my book of limericks. I'm close. Limericky, like to you. Here's to your health or something. Karen said, good morning. How are you? I paid my tax. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. It's not Monday. It's Wednesday. Even me, you're halfway across the world. It's still not Monday. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. It's Thursday for you. It's Wednesday for me, but I assure you, it is not Monday. Brandon Thomas Rennie joined the Key to the City. I'm very touched. And that reminds me of we do have some business to attend to. Now that you're a Key to the City member, yesterday I posted my September Ask RJ. It was very exciting. You go click on the community tab and you will see it. There are exclusive videos all the time. Today, there was also early access to more WrestleFest. Tomorrow, there'll be some early access to the next installment of the Hollywood Squared Circle. And what other business do I have to attend to? Tomorrow, 9 p.m., I'm hosting my first virtual wrestling seminar, which is weird, over Zoom. What else? If you want to register and join and hear me rant about the business, of course, the non-wrestling side of wrestling, naturally. I put it on my Instagram. I put it on my Twitter. It's PWE Seminars on Twitter and Instagram, which is very nice. That is 9 p.m. tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Friday night. I will be doing Malcolm Bivens' Twitch show. I am a replacement for Shayna Baszler because you have a grizzled MMA fighter, submission wrestler, and you can't get her. I'm the next rung down, which is fine by me. I tell you, I don't think I have the singing voice she does. That is Friday. Saturday is nothing. Sunday, we make coffee in our underwear, of course. And then next week, as you all know, and I know Bill congratulated me already, I will be on the bump on Wednesday. I believe it's at 10 a.m. And it's me, Ken Jeong, and Wade Barrett. We all went to different schools together. Excited to catch up with all of them. Clancy said, hello there, RJ. How's it going? So, Brandon, welcome. Click around. Thank you for your patronage and your patronization. Bill said, morning, Karen. Hope things are great and awesome. Everyone's using the Limericky like emoji. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Clint's checking Bill's channel. There's a lot going on. Missy said, good evening. Good morning, everyone. Ty said, hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Good evening, RJ, sir. Good evening to you, ma'am. Aaron said, good evening, friends. Carla said, good evening, gentle folks, gentlemen, and gentle ladies. Although is man, what is the equivalent of late boys? Fellas and ladies? I think so. Missy said, how many replies did it take for you to mute us this afternoon? Fun fact, Missy, you've been muted for years. Ty said, your hair looks like it has extra volume tonight. It does. It looks very shiny and like frazzled. I washed it like this morning. Usually I wash it a little later in the day, but here we are. It's got a sheen. Maybe I'm born with it. Sean said, I've given up on the days of the week entirely. Evening, RJ. Hey, everybody. That's fine. You can set your watch to me. Wednesday is After Dark. Wednesday is black and white. Clint said, the sound seems like it has a bit of a crack. That's because I pulled my pants down. Dave said, Ruby Riot uploaded a video showing how she mailed a love letter to Estelle Getty when she was 12. What did you do when you were 12 years old? The same thing I do now. I sat around in a robe. I chewed on a cigar. I read dirty limericks, and I talked about Ernest Borgnine, probably. not that much has changed. Blue Meanie said, good evening, all. And also, there are some delightful blue cartoons, both in theme and in content. If you can click on Blue Meanie's YouTube, I believe they're also on his Twitter. Do enjoy them. Do share. Since I'm not making mine anymore, I can at least promote other cartoons. We're no longer in competition, and that's fine by me. Do enjoy them. Go click on him and listen to his podcast and things of that nature. Ty said, is his mic staticky or is it just me? Is it better now? Maybe I was too close to it. Is it better? Sean said, wow, that's a lot of talent on one stream. I guess he's just talking about mine. Chris said, Toronto, Woody's dead. Is he talking about the nightclub? Because I've never gone, so it doesn't matter to me. Bill said, welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Meanie. Nail said, yeah, if I can't get Shayna, my brain goes right to RJ. Nail said, it's okay for Ty. Nail said, yay, we're blowing up. RJ is famous. Come along, cult. Ty said, speaking of Baszler, where's this card trick you owe us? Well, since I'm replacing Shayna, I'll do a card trick on the show in her honor. She's a wizard. I think Max Maven, Amazing Jonathan, Shayna Baszler. Ty said, nails. As soon as I said it, it stopped. Great. Okay, I'll calm down then. Andrea said, hi, Clancy. Tabby said, greetings, my lords and ladies. Curtsies. I'm trying something new today. I love how you can just mime that you're curtsying, but with it, you don't have to see that, but you know it. You just, it's wonderful. Clint said, did you meet those two, RJ? Nah, I haven't met anyone. Nails used the line, Ricky like emoji. I should take another drink. I'm getting hammered here. SM said, good evening, RJ. I'm still laughing at your John Travolta impression. Oh, you know, rocking and rolling. Or maybe that's these two guys, they were walking around, you know, rocking and rolling. I think that's it. Yeah, Sandy, we met on the beach. What's the big deal? We hung out, we made out. That's it now. I'm hanging out with Cha-Cha. There's only that one movie I can do. Oh, what is this? Battlefield Earth? Danny said, good evening, guys. Let's enjoy these moments with RJ before he gets too famous to hang with us plebes. That's nice. Way to kilt me on my way up. I'll be sure to hang on to it with bitterness on my way back down. Nell said, Blue Meanie, loved the cartoon, loved Smirnoff. How do I spell his name? Anyway, he's funny and I enjoy him. Diana said the audio is much better. Sean said, you and Stokely, we're going to pay off our Zaxby's feud that was supposed to culminate WrestleMania weekend, and something happened. I can't remember what. Ty said, actually, pushing it back is much better. I'm now pushing you back, Ty. Dave said, which tag team was the best? The Blue Brothers, Eli and Jacob Blue, who are not politically correct now or then. The Grimm Twins, DOA, or the Bruise Brothers. I actually liked the Blue Brothers. I'm going to go back. Because they looked like the least of what they became. Does that make any sense? I liked their John Nord vibe. Nell said, yes, Danny, what will the do if the leader leaves? Well, I'll appoint a new one. There's a ceremony. There's a whole thing. It takes 3 nights, but we'll get a new one appointed. Chad said, RJ, we saw some of the cool merch during the Cardona Coffee and Underwear episode, but what's your favorite wrestling merch you had? I was just talking about this a while ago, and I don't have it anymore. I believe it's been thrown out twice. I used to have the WWF table hockey game. Each hockey player was a wrestler. Jake the Snake's stick was his snake. Hulk Hogan was like a barbell. It was the coolest thing in the world. I had it when I was in New York, only at my grandmother's house. She had it. She must have thrown it out. And then I think for my 16th or 18th birthday, my cousin found one on eBay and got it for me. And I was so surprised that I fucking cried. And since then, my grandmother's thrown it out again. But for that moment, it was great. Kiana said, well, that was attractive. And I don't know what that's in reference to. Blue Meanie said, you sound fine to me. And your mic is okay as well. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Tabby said, I'm thinking of becoming a wrestler because I want to commit felonies, and the only punishment I get is having to face the victim in the ring. Well, I suggest you join my seminar tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We'll be discussing prisoner gimmicks. Bill said, how cool is it to look up Bruno Sammartino, Andre Hogan, Savage, Steamboat, Hart, Shawn Michaels, Flair, Undertaker, Rock, Austin, and now RJ City on the WWE Network. Pretty cool. Yeah, but to be fair, Bill, you can look up a lot of the shitty guys too. You can also look up David Sammartino. So Chad said, when will we get an RJ City action figure? I'll tell you something. There's been zero demand for it. So I don't know how that would work. Coffee cups are a lot more fun. There's a lot more I can do with them. Tabby said, not even Xenu in my Travolta impression. How about this? Look who's talking now. Is it me? RJ Travolta. Yes, that's my new gimmick. Sean said, Christopher Walken playing John Travolta. Wow, Sandy, that beach was a wild time, but we're done, babe, with the rocking and rolling. Patrick Broom said, how's the Boston accent coming along? It was good. I just parked the caucus. Ivan Garcia said, you telling me you can't do Travolta and look who's talking now? I just did. Here's him and look who's talking. Oh, man, look who's talking. And this is him and look who's talking now. Oh, man, look who's talking now. Dave said, is it time for a Blossom reunion? I like the dad, and I think the dad ended up directing a few episodes. But other than that, I'm not interested in anyone else. Neil said, Bill, I cannot wait for the WWE universe to invade our streams and talk about Goldberg. What? It's going to be great, I'll say. Adam Russo said, no matter how famous you get, I hope that you will never forget Blue Meanie. How you can't forget someone like that who had such a catchy theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Clincy says it's still cracking. I may suggest, Clincy, that you monkey with your settings because everyone else seems to be fine now. Bill said, what was it like to date Olivia Newton-John? It was fine. She put on those tight pants and everything ripped. Andrea said, RJ, you deserve the success, all the success and exposure in the world. May you only become more jaded. It's not, the walls are closing in. And this is the end of my Twilight Zone episode, and it doesn't end that well. Andrea, congratulations to you and all your wonderful sportskeeda things and your fun things writing about wrestling. If you enjoy reading about wrestling, I don't, because I'm exhausted by it. But do check out Andrea. Neil said, Missy, you're right. They're going to love him. How can you not love him? Well, there's some people who do. Neil said, David Arquette versus Blue Meanie in a death match for cult leader status if RJ gets too famous and bored of us. I will say, I think it's only fair that you know, I bequeath my cult. If I have to go, if there's an emergency, it's something, I only have weeks to live, I'll bequeath my followers to Meanie. I think he's a young, plucky youngster, and he's going to be the heir to the throne. SM sent me a wonderful tribute just for the Travolta. Thanks, man. You know, some people laugh and some people don't laugh, but it's nice. I don't mind. Danny said, Nails, I don't know what the cult will do, but as long as we don't have to drink any Kool-Aid, I'm fine. That's right. If anyone hands you any strange liquid, you don't drink it. This is delicious. Blue Meanie said, I met Amazing Jonathan randomly as a kid in Atlantic City. I asked how he did his Windex drinking trick. He asked if I can keep it a secret. He said, yes. Oh, he asked if I could keep it a secret. I said, yes. He said, so can I. I've stolen that reply since. I'm a big Amazing Jonathan fan. And what was the trick? He would drink it kind of thing, and then he would smack his ear and then it would come out. Is that what would happen? He would drink, or he would put it in his hand and then put it in his ear and then it would come out. He is fantastic. If you enjoy magic, or if you don't, he's one of those guys who, if you like magic, you'll like him. If you hate magic, you'll love him. That's one of those guys. Oh, look, my cigar's falling apart. It's finally time for a new one. This is only my second cigar. Remember when I started the show and I thought it was only going to be a month, and now we've been here for 28 years? That is wonderful. And there's a good documentary about the Amazing Jonathan, too. It's weird. I think it's a bit of a work, but yes, Val is getting me tipsy. Clint said, hey, RJ, I got to ask early, if you were invited for voice acting on an animated movie, it's okay that you're not the random guy, but in reality movie, just a random guy, then I don't mind being a random guy if it pays well. If it could be a random wealthy man, Clinty, I don't mind at all. Rowan says, hello. Southern Dandy says, lovely kimono. Well, I often consider myself a Southern Dandy, too. Governor, I do declare, my dress is all torn and tattered. That's my that's my Tennessee Williams. Dave said, what's the best movie starring Kirstie Alley. I like the one with the Olsen twins and Steve Guttenberg. Was that It Takes Two? I think that was it. They went to camp or something. One of them was rich and the other one wasn't. And they're like, oh my God, we look exactly alike. That's the best. I always used to do that to them in those movies. Then there's the other ones. They were the detectives. I didn't like it. I cared more for Harriet the Spy, starring the wonderful Rosie O'Donnell. Cactus Kelly said, the hockey game box art is the best. Who had the best hockey stick? Oh, Tugboat. It was just a rope. It was just a stiff rope. Ty said, oh my God, Christopher Walken, John Travolta, please never do that again. Yeah, baby. And then what's going to happen is we're going to get in the car and fly away, and then maybe you can put your head down, and I'll look out if we pass anything, any birds or whatever. Nails said, can you do some sexy talk in the Travolta voice? Nails, that's what I've been doing. Sean is wheezing. Val said, how many limericks did I miss? Not fucking one, Val. These are for you. In the Garden of Eden lay Adam, complacently stroking his madam. And loud was his mirth, for on all of the earth there were only two bulls, and he had them. That's true. Adam must have felt, it's crazy that Adam was ever insecure. He was the only guy. A chippy who worked in Black Buff had a pussy as large as a muff. It had room for both hands and some intimate glands, and was soft as a little duck's fluff. Well, that's nice. That's just more of a compliment than a limerick, I guess. Grandiose, cavernous, yet soft. Tabby said, I'm getting the occasional crackle, and the sound gets wonky too. That's so unusual. That's very bizarre. I'll monkey with the rabbit ears. Chris said, hung wash, I might... What? Clinty said, it's now RJ Good now. Sorry, I asked. Do not apologize for asking. Bill said, someone today on Twitter posted your face on Don Knotts' Mr. Furley. What did you think of that? Bill, I did not think that was my face. I thought it was someone else. I'm going to have to go back and look. I did not think that was my face. Are you sure that was my face? Nail said, Karen, that's cool, though. It's nice to be able to go somewhere. Andrea said, how about some Cotter era Travolta? Oh, Mr. Cotter, man, I don't want to do the history lesson today. Why don't you just do one of your jokes? Wouldn't that be a little bit better? Make everybody laugh, make your wife laugh at the end of the day. That would be fun. That show was shit. I loved it. I thought it was great, but also I'm now aware that it's shit. And Gabe Kaplan would tell these horrible jokes at the end of the episodes. And I just remember one. And it was about a guy riding a bike or driving a car, and his tail light went out, his brake light, so he had to use signals for the drivers behind him that he was turning, and they were like this, and it was like, well, what were you doing? He was like, oh, I had to make a left, and then a right, and then they were like, yeah, what is this? And it's like, oh, I messed up the direction, so I had to erase it and start all over. And then there was like 5 minutes of laughter, and that was the end of the episode, and it was fucking shit. Southern Dandy said, what is this pretty lady drinking? Well, don't you know it's one of the finest drinks in all the South? A little something called Alarm Ricky Lake. Care for some, Mr. Beauregard? Oh, I took your cigar. Dear Lord. What a cast him. Regular Rich Little tonight. Amazing Jonathan would cut his own arm. Yes, he would, and it was terrifying to watch. It gives me the chills. Where do we go? I missed some people. Amazing Jonathan cut his arms. We did that. Carla said, I got to see Amazing Jonathan on my honeymoon in Las Vegas. That's a honeymoon. That is something. Whether you are still married or divorced, cherish that, because that's fantastic. Ty said, a full 28 years. I have no idea what that's in reference to now. Nell said, I hope we're still here with RJ looking all Miss Havisham. Oh, yes. Aaron said, that was one robust cigar. It's hanging in there. Rowan said, so I'm on my first rewatch of Golden Girls since I was a kid. Can I just mention that I basically had an emotional breakdown when I remembered that I can't even ever meet B. Arthur? Yes, because she's dead. There's dead, and then there's dead. You can only meet one of them, and the least talented one. Ivan won Southern Travolta. Man, we're going to go off to Kentucky and have a nice time in the mud and the white picket fence. Be pretty good. Have some iced tea on the porch. Maybe a rocking chair, that kind of thing. Rowan said, nails. I was just saying the same thing. Clincy said, hey, RJ, do you know that Ronda Rousey met David Arquette the other day? I didn't know that they met the other day. I know that they have a bevy of strange, unusual connections that one day the whole world will know. Bill said, so if you were given a huge Hollywood contract but couldn't use your name, RJ City, what name would you come up with? In the back of my head, if I had to, Buddy Moon, I thought it was a good like lounge singer name. I just kept it tucked in my back pocket. I also love Paul Rubens in, what is the name of that movie? Blow? Is that the name of the movie? The Johnny Depp cocaine movie? I think it's Blow. His character's name was Derek For Real, and I loved the last name For Real. That always stuck in the back of my head. So those two. Chad said, amazing Jonathan had a toe amputated. Yes, but thanks to stem cells across the border, he grew some of it back. Isn't that a hair suspicious? Angel said, would talking about how Tugboat got a stiff rope to play hockey with demonetize you? Yes, but I think Fred Ottman would send me some money on PayPal, so it all evens out. Thanks, brother. Thanks for putting me over, brother. Roman said, I'd love to be complacently stroked. Oh my God, we're so behind in the chat. Let me get through. Tabby said, I would have sucked for Adam if Eve turned out to be a furry. Well, there was always a snake he could bond with. Southern said, quivering mound of love pudding, which was actually the name of my jazz album. Clint said, could be, so take a look closely. SM said, cavernous? Sounds like it would be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Patrick said, try turning down the gain. I hear it too. I've turned down the gain. I hope that's better. Neil said, was it RJ's face or Shayna's face? I don't know, but it's both of ours, I guess. Dave said, head of the class was way better than Welcome Back Carter. It's true because the head of the class had the wonderful Howard Hessman. Tabby said, Gabe Kaplan is outliving all the sweat hogs. That's also true. Bill said it was Gene Kelly's face on Mr. Furley then. Fair enough, and I think it was. Southern said, oh, rest in peace, Gabe Kaplan? No, he's not dead. Nails loves me. Thank you. Tabby said, Welcome Back Carter had John Travolta at his peak. Head of the class had Dan Schneider before he was known as Cotter had Travolta. What? Ty said, because she's dead. Oh, that's where we are. Dave said, there's a lot of acts out there named the amazing or the great. Where are the humble people acts? What about above average Mike Sanders? Blue Meanie said, the amazing Jonathan trick you're thinking of is him shoving a pen in his ear and pulling it out of his mouth. Actually, there's 2 Jonathan docs out there. I haven't seen the Hulu version yet. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Nail say, Rhonda's video was only recently uploaded from meeting David a while ago. That's so weird. I don't have any recollection. Maybe he didn't know who she was. Richard said, the amazing Jonathan was big in Australia. Yes, he was. If you YouTube him, there's a lot of stuff from like Australian TV. Rowan said, I'm dead. I meant B is my number 1, but Betty is the least talented. I mean, she has no Torque Song trilogy. That's for sure. Neil said, I haven't Clincy her animals make my dog bark at the TV, but I subscribed and I saw it was uploaded. Patrick said, the amazing Jonathan Hulu documentary was really sad to watch. That boy's got some demons. Don't all comedic magicians. Bill said, Buddy Moon. It was Blow. That's the name of the movie. That name is the best. Aaron said, I wouldn't go as Mr. Lawrence Diarrhea. To missed opportunity. And then people would say my name and I say it's actually Laurence. But the last name is correct. It is Diarrhea. Tabby said, Dan Schneider has a predatory reputation. I don't even... Who? Is that... Richard said, RJ, does Mike Sanders still do comedy? Gee, I hope so. I'd like to split a bill with Mike. Dave said, who do you want to punch in the face more, David Copperfield or Chris Angel? Oh, Chris Angel. Copperfield did a lot of shit. He didn't try to be like too sexy. He tried to be sexy in like a Siegfried and Roy kind of way. He didn't try to be Hot Topic sexy. You know what I mean? Ty wants another limerick. Jesus, fine. So demanding. There was a young fellow named Bowen whose pecker kept growing and growing. It grew so tremendous, so long and so pendulous. 'Twas no good for fucking, just showing. That's true. You see these guys walking around with these, and you're like, who do you put that in? The hell do you do with that thing, you know? Dear Lord. It's like having a giant SUV. You know, they put them on those like monster truck wheels. You can't drive that in the suburbs. Dear Lord. Let me see if I can go back. I missed some stuff. Blue Meanie said Gabe Kaplan was great in the movie Fast Break. Ah, yes. And welcome back to this episode entitled Kaplan Cuts. Good recommendation, Blue Meanie. Neil said, would the amazing RJ be a magician? Perhaps a high wire acrobat? I think I would be a good clown. There's got to be bad clowns. I think it'd be a good bad clown. A heel clown. Ty said Chris Angel for sure. SM said there's some cracking, but not as much as when RJ does the Travolta. Maybe it's the Travolta that's throwing everything off. Neil said you'd always do a magic trick where you punch one and the other feels it too. Well, noted. Dave said, is there anything better than a good dick joke? Yeah, good fart joke. You got to put farts above dicks, Dave. Andrea said, Hal Copperfield was married to Claudia Schiffer, and while he wasn't my cup of tea, he's clearly a master magician. Yeah, he made a few things disappear, like his dignity. Let me go down. Kiana's weighing in on very large penises. The giant ones usually don't know how to work them. Honestly. Thank you, Kiana, for the genital report. Richard said, RJ, did you watch Stampede Wrestling? Well, I mean, it was pretty much done when I was coming up. We didn't have access to it here. But from what I've seen, it felt like a rougher AWA to me. And a little Memphis thrown in. It was very weird. But the AWA in terms of the wrestling, good mat stuff, that stuff I liked. Good characters. They had a lot of people come through there too. That was kind of like Bizarro World, like Calgary so far away they could do whatever they wanted. Dave said, do you think you could have made the Red Rooster gimmick work? I fucking absolutely no. Here's the other thing. I want to talk about the Red Rooster. They say, he didn't work his gimmick. That motherfucker was cock-a-doodle doing and had that red mohawk shit and was walking around like this. The guy did what he fucking could. That's all you can do. I could put the guy in a bird outfit, and they tried that years later, and look what happened. Ivan said, Chris Angel would be a lot less obnoxious if his name was Buddy Moon. Rowan said, Kiana, I do appreciate me a grower. You got to be a user, too. Southern said, Gallagher is better than Chris Angel. Fucking agreed. Nail said, RJ, you seem like you should roll your eyes at fart jokes. Yeah, but a good one? A fucking good one? And by a joke, I mean just like a unexpected fart. Not even a joke. Just like that's funny. Bill said, so the other day, I saw someone post a tribute to You Can't Do That on Television. Does anyone remember that? Did you have any favorite Les Lie characters? I had Louie Nye favorite characters. Bar's Burgers with Hill. That was a little before my time. You Can't Do That on Television. I did enjoy it, what I saw of it. I mean, it was really a precursor to the peak of Nickelodeon. But from what I've seen, it's certainly a seminal, and in certain cases, seminal. Sean's using the Andre emoji, I guess, to denote men with super large penises. The genital reports. Dave said, is basketball an underrated movie? No, I think it's rated on the level that it should be rated. I think I'm fine with that. Patrick said, there are a lot of parallels between magician and wrestling culture. Does that trace back to the carnival origin? Yes, and I think it's certainly also tied up in the freak show, that kind of thing, and the circus of it all. I think that's logical. I mean, it all involves some sort of trickery. There's a lot of quote-unquote magic in what we do as opposed to, we're not faking. There's a trickery. We're looking like we're doing something. We're not really doing it that way. It looks like one thing is going on when there's another happening. It is a little bit of magic. And it's very secretive. It's just stupid. It's just a fucking trick. Let's all relax. Missy said that's a new segment I would watch. Ty wants me to have another line, Ricky, Aaron said, as a child, I wasn't allowed to watch You Can't Do That on television, but I got caught and tried to convince my mom that it was a new show called You Can Do That on television. Very clever, Aaron. Very clever. Oh, well, all right, then in that case, go watch it. It's on at the same time, same network? Okay, no problem. Bill said, I would take the Great Santini from Columbo for magic. There was also a wonderful episode of under the umbrella tree called the Great Goldberg. And I believe he was a magician. There was also a good magician who babysat on Home Improvement and then got locked in the trunk he brought, and he sang. Dave said, a good fart joke is quite the gas, I hear. See, that's not a good fart joke, Dave. I don't know what the fuck that is. That is fucking shit, man. The fuck is wrong with you? Have some decency. Nail said, that's a good Bill impression. Nail said, is there anything you can't do on television now? There's a lot. Believe me, when I worked on certain TV shows, there are a lot of weird restrictions. And also you have to navigate copyright. Unless you have a lot of money, you can buy stuff. Or you're not worried about being sued. If you're worried about being sued, you can't get shit done. You know how many things that I was just like, I would pick stuff and you have to clear it. When I was doing CBC stuff, you'd have to clear it with legal. Or when I was doing Splat a lot, you can't say certain things. You can only sing certain songs certain ways. You can't mention certain people, and that you can't mention brands. You can't even say Kleenex. People get mad. The TV people get mad. Say like, why are we giving free promotion to them? Because Kleenex is, as you know, a brand name. Sucks. Rowan said, oh my God, RJ's out here making me feel old as fuck. What did I do? Dave said, I grew up watching You Can't Do That on television. There's a wonderful documentary on YouTube about it. Yes, there is. I have seen it. It is very good. Tabby said, when I was a child, I wasn't allowed to watch television. My parents thought Imogene Coca was a bad influence. Imogene Coca was, of course, Aunt Edna in National Lampoon's Vacation, number one. Number two, she was in the wonderful Your Show of Shows with Sid Caesar. Sid Caesar ended up being in Vegas Vacation. At the end, he was the guy who was sitting with the lotto ticket. The money, I want the money. The money is mine. I want the money. Karen said, oh, is Karen going to... Oh, wait, Tabby. Oh, no, we did that already. Later, everyone. See you soon. Good night, Karen. Blue Meanie said, one guy said to me, how dare you fart before my wife? I said, I didn't know it was her turn. I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How it got in my pajamas, I'll never know. And then the elephant farted. You know, I was at the zoo once. I was in high school with my first girlfriend. You took her to the zoo, as you do anytime you have your first girlfriend, and you have to take them to the zoo. These are the rules. And I saw an elephant shitting and pissing at the same time. I was blown away. Most tremendous thing I had seen up until that point in my life. And I thought, gee, I can't wait to go home and try this. And I did. And it takes a lot of concentrated effort. But one day, we can be as smart as the elephants. Blue Meanie said, Tyler said, thanks, RJ. It's a bizarre world out this way. I assume Tyler means he's from Calgary. Nell said, what would a wrestling magician pull out of his hat? Brass knuckles. Rowan said, I just guffawed over that basketball response. Bang on. Dave said, is there an actor or actress that should never be cast as a good guy? James Wood seems like he feels that. Now, James Wood just is not a good person. Willem Dafoe. Trying to think if there's anyone else who's just like kind of an Chaz Palminteri. John Leguizamo has an evilness to him. When he in Carlito's Way, he was fantastic. Maybe also Ed Harris. I'm just spitballing. And Jonathan Harris. All the Harrises. The Harris twins. Southern Dandy said Bruce Hart is greater than Bret Hart. Well, if you're going by getting nut shots. Tabby said, are magicians more precious about kayfabe than old-timey wrestlers? Yes. Absolutely. They actually have secrets. The secret to wrestling is there is no secrets. Like, I punched him, but not that hard. It's like, okay, we probably could have figured that one out. That was less clever than I had initially assumed. Missy said, did you ever watch 15 with Ryan Reynolds? No, absolutely I did not. Nor will I in the future. Nail said, it would be fun to date a magician, always finding things behind your ears, getting you to pull things out of their hats. No, it's annoying because they won't stop practicing. They'll do it all the time. And they're terribly insecure people, as are wrestlers, as are musicians, as we all are, really. But magicians and wrestlers perform it. Rowan said, Richard, I totally enjoyed it with my friends. Kind of a mini cult following. Did somebody say cult? Ty said, you're in a good mood. What? Ty has these analysts. You're in a good mood. You're saying fuck a lot tonight. Yeah, as a real sailor. It's because I'm so fatigued. I've had such a long day. Bill said, best quickie joke about a penis I heard recently. You know, if a guy starts bragging about his huge yacht, you know he really has a dinghy. And that reminds me of the poem that Ted Knight said in Caddyshack when he was christening his yacht, the Flying Wasp. It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you think you've got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts aren't too tight in the seat. Taste the best part of that movie. Nail said, did you get rules from WWE on what you can and cannot say? Like, can you say, what up to my homies, the Citizens, and my man's Blue Meanies, fuck Mark Ruffalo? I've been given nothing that I can't say. There's been no protocol conversation. I mean, I could theoretically say whatever I want. Will they have me back? I'm not sure, but I'm willing to test the limits. I mean, I mentioned when I did the SummerSlam watch along, I mentioned Sumner Redstone and Donna Summer, so it's pretty good. And then last time I mentioned, who did I mention? Didn't I pull up? Oh, I had a Liberace book. So Liberace's fair game because, of course, he was the guest bell ringer at WrestleMania 1. Tabby said, fine, can you do Groucho Travolta? This lady at the beach. I'm just going to make out with her once. I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How the elephant got inside of my pajamas, I'm never going to know. You know what I mean? Chico, Hoppo, Zeppo, Beppo, Babing, Babu. Oh, it's like a higher voice Angel Dice Clay. Neil said, don't ask me why you would say it like that. Fair enough. Andrea said, my mom was so pissed about me being into Madonna as a child, not because of the sexy stuff, because she wore rosaries as necklace, which was very, very blasphemous. Even though every Italian male I know has just this giant cross. I'm like, there's just giant ones and elaborate ones with so much detail. I'm like, do they have to put the nails in? Does he have to be on it? It's really no longer a symbol now. It's just a full-on depiction around your neck. Richard said, RJ, have you ever patted a wombat or koala? No. I fed a giraffe before. Wasn't really crazy about it. But what I used to love to do is go to the Coney Island Aquarium. I loved it when I was a kid. It was the best. And you could pet the stingray. You put they're in this thing. You put two fingers in the water and you can pet them. They come up to you almost. They felt like just slimy dogs. And the horseshoe crabs. And you can fucking pick a horseshoe crab up. They were crazy looking. They blew my mind as a kid. And then for some reason we stopped going to the aquarium because the traffic got bad and it was too much of a drive. So it kept getting harder. And then every year I still ask. And the answer is no. Tabby said, new gimmick. I am the wrestler who can shit and piss at the same time. Quiver in fear. I have to quiver to get that process started. Bill said, Meanie has the best fart jokes backstage, I bet. Meanie. I don't remember being, it was just, he had a exuberant joy and then he photobombed me once. SM said, an elephant pissing and shitting at the same time. Are you describing everything that came out of Trump's mouth last night? No, because elephant pissing shit isn't blatantly racist. Neil said, Husky Harris. What about him? Dave said, another movie that just popped into my head. Stay tuned. Good John Ritter flick. Also has Captain Lou Albano and I believe the One Man Gang and Eugene Levy. Tabby said, John Leguizamo was surprisingly gorgeous in Tu Wong Fu. Yes, he was. Kiana said, Peter Green was always a villain in the 90s, and I had a weird crush on him. Who was that other guy? He was in, I think, Muppets from Space. He was the evil guy. I can't remember his name. Richard said, RJ, you should do the Travolta gimmick with a leather jacket. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've done it enough. Dave said, I have to fart on the bump and then no sell it. I'll think about it. Richard said, RJ, you should we did that. Bill said Caddyshack was awesome. Tabby said a stingray named Steve Irwin. A stingray killed Steve Irwin. Never forget. It was a swerve. Nell said, I've been to the Coney Island Aquarium. I hope we touch the same stingray so I can tell that story at parties. I always remember they would be camps because we would go in the summer and they would all wear different neon shirts and it would be incredibly distracting. Missy said, Val, my husband wanted me to ask that because he loves it too. What? I've never seen it. Bill said, oh, if anyone is new here, join as a member. It's not a cult. RJ has a great list. Yes, I did release it Monday night of the best 31 creepy-ass Halloween movies. They're not Halloween movies necessarily. They're just creepy. They vaguely fit the theme. And people asked, so I thought it was nice. There's some good ones on that list, and there's some bad ones on that list. Bill said, how long did that take to figure out? Surprisingly easy. I think the first 15 to 20 came like all these movies I love, and they all fit the bill. And then the last 10 were like, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? But I'm happy with the list. I mean, I make no claims about the quality of it. I'm just whatever. Patrick said, I just looked up what horseshoe crabs look like. Dude, what the fuck? It's like a giant roach. But they're really hard. They're like, like a tortoise shell. Like it's not like you can knock on it. It's weird, but fascinating. Blue Meanie said, I farted on plenty of bumps. I don't think I have that much. I get really freaked out about eating too much before I wrestle, and then I just have no energy. I'm like, well, you either have energy and shit your pants, or you have no energy and go, I was tired, but at least I didn't shit myself. Neil said, Bill, stop fighting. Leave now. Go on. You can't, can you? Because it's a cult, dude. Just accept it. Caesar in the long run. Blue Meanie said, wasn't Jesse Ventura and Mean Gene in Stay Tuned as well? To my knowledge, no. I think only Captain Lou Albano did the ring announcing. And then John Ritter faced off against, I believe, the One Man Gang. I don't think they're in it. I'm going to have to look that up. They're in something together. That I know. Chad said, your Halloween shirt is up through Halloween? Yes. ProWrestlingTees.com/Orga City. My Halloween shirt, based on the Paul Lynde Halloween special logo, is only up until October 31st because it is a seasonal exclusive. I thought that was cute. Bill said, oh shit, where did I go? I lost. What a weird, this chat is jumping today. Bill said, Boston has the best aquarium. You go up a huge spiral tower full of sharks, fish, etc. So cool. I like the aquarium in Toronto where the sharks swim over to you in huge tunnels. Speaking of that aquarium, just some staff member tested positive. Why the fuck is an aquarium open right now? Just go feed the fish and leave them the fuck alone. God. Who else said, Missy, first season is on Amazon. I know you can catch the rest of the season somewhere too. It used to be part of the Nick reboot like 5 years ago. I watched it there. Dave said, with all these WWE bookings, do you think Vince knows about you? Absolutely. Me and Vince Fontaine talk all the time. Tabby said, the creepiest Halloween movie is Woody Allen's Banana. Well, it's certainly now. SM said, did you hear about Juice Robinson sharding after getting kicked too hard and making a promo about it afterward? No, but that's really what you got to do. You really have to make it work for you. You know, that's what we call improvisation. Chris Does Poetry said, RJ, just popping in to say you're a big inspiration to me. Thank you for everything that you do. Well, Chris, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I don't even know what the fuck I do. So I hope you've taken my nothing and turned it into something if I'm inspiring you. Because otherwise, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Neil said, if you want to Google crazy things, check out the shoe Bill Bird. Check out Bill Burr. Check out Bill Burr's shoes. Neil said, if you want to go, we did that already. We just did it. Rowan said, if you have any crazy stories from family trips as a child, like any wild tale, there was one year we drove home from Virginia or Delaware or New York, and all this shit happened on the same trip. My brother closed the car door on my ankle. My brother ended up throwing up sour cream and onion potato chips. We all stopped and went kayaking in this small river. I don't even know where the fuck it was. And this dog almost drowned. All of a sudden, there was I think he jumped in off a bridge or something. And this Frenchwoman was like, Le chien. Like, what the fuck? Is this your dog? She's like, no. And then I remember my dad grabbed the dog and put it on his lap. And the dog peed all over him because he was so scared. It was so sweet. And then we took a ferry in the fog. We had to take a ferry for some reason. But you know, you get your dad, like family road trip, they want to take like that long ass way around, that kind of thing. Took a ferry in the fog, and we ended up felt like we ended up in Scotland. And there was this little dinner place, and there were all Scottish people in there, and they were the most miserable people. And my dad said to my mom, I'll never forget this. He said, if I ever turn out to look like one of these people, I want you to take a fork and stab me in the neck. Is that wild enough for you, Rowan? Missy said, I'll have to check it out. Val, Mrs. Meany said, it's not a cult. I shaved off all my hair because I wanted to. It's just a lot more practical. Where are we? I'll get it back. Bill, what did Bill say? Did Bill say something? I'm going back. All right, it's a cult. Oh, okay, I'm back in business. Chad said, how many lime breaking drinks can you drink in one sitting? Just the one, because I'm getting hammered. Val said, my brother teaches at the high school Mean Gene went to and sent me a picture of Mean Gene as a senior in high school. Val, you got to fucking post that picture. That's amazing. That's something that should be public domain. A young Gene Okerlund. Hey, I just made out with Gene Okerlund behind the steps of the library. Blue Meanie said, I might be confusing Stay Tuned with the movie Amazon Women on the Moon. I absolutely believe that you are. Richard said, what are your 2021 wrestling plans if they don't open the borders before that? I don't fucking know. At this point, who am I to say? I'm happy if I get some good coffee tomorrow. I'm taking it one day at a time. Doing a seminar tomorrow at 9 p.m. I'm doing a talk show 10 p.m. Friday night with a guy who I had a feud at Zaxby's with. And then I'm on the bump next week with Ken Jeong. Why plan stuff? You know what? I was so proud of myself last Sunday that I did Coffee and Underwear. A podcast dropped with a guy who was a Muppeteer, a fucking Muppets podcast. And then I did Watch Along. I was like, that is the ultimate Venn diagram of my life, is Muppets and wrestling. And both at the same time in the same day, and then making coffee in my underwear on top of it and singing Bridge Over Troubled Water. You'll finally become what you've always wanted. Ivan said, Mean Gene and Jesse Ventura are in Repossessed. Ivan with the ultimate thank you. Moggy said, what kind of cigar is that? They're called Unlit. Karen said, sorry, I have to pop in the chat room. I'm a lesbian. You don't have to apologize for that. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Pop in, pop out. Do what you want. I saw Yolanda. Sorry I'm late. I blame the Orange Man trying to sue Philadelphia. Well, that's a bit of a scapegoat. That man is nothing but a mild-mannered civilian. This limerick is for him and you. There was a young lady from Brussels who was proud of her vaginal muscles. She could easily plex them and so interflex them as to whistle love songs through her bustles. That's my favorite one. That's so cute and so sweet. Chad said, my dad always had a shortcut on trips. Never a shortcut. Neil said, Bill May may be staring into the distance, accepting his fate. You mean Billy Mays? Talk about dead. Rowan said, that's definitely a wild story. My mom and stepfather always wanted to take the long way. They just want to waste your fucking time. Val said, I'll post it on Twitter and tag you in it. Thank you so much. Rowan said, that's a definitely wild. Oh, we did this already. Dear Lord. Rowan said, did your dad end up looking like that? Well, I haven't stabbed him yet. At least not in the neck. Well, I've gotten close sometimes. You just like... Neil said, RJ doesn't need wrestling plans. He's going to be famous in the... I'm headed to PBS. The draft is coming up. It's either TV Land or PBS. Tabby said, I like to think 17-year-old Mean Gene had the same hair and mustache that he had at the height of his fame. You know, SNL used to have these great taped sketches. It was about like a 14-year-old kid who was just straight up old man bald. And he was just started high school and everyone thought he was a teacher. So he hung out in the staff room. I can't remember if it was a recurring sketch or just a one-off. It was definitely a tape piece and never forgot it. I don't know the name of it. Aaron said, people are actually making future plans. Let's hope we have a future. Never mind fucking planning for it. Chad said, 2021 plans. Run 2,000 miles with PCO and the Proclaimers. Rowan said, guys, how do you at people in the chat? And I've tried and cannot. Rowan, I believe you literally put at and then put their username. So if you wanted to write to Andrea Hanks, you would write at and then literally all together, Andrea Hanks, I believe. And it should, as you're typing it in, pop up for you to click on, like it would on Twitter. Andrea said, ooh, I've lost it completely. Oh, I should sing you some coffee. Chicago has one of the best roasters in the U.S. Well, I'm game. I'm not going to turn that down. Nail said, Aaron, I'm barely planning my comments in this stream. Chad said, the Muppeteer podcast was awesome. Thank you. And if you do enjoy that podcast, it's the Beretta Brothers podcast. They've had some wonderful guests, way better than me, like Ricky Gervais and Bobby Moynihan and Dick Blasucci, who wrote on fucking SCTV. Jesus. Danny said, the only future plan I got is to wake up tomorrow morning and maybe think about attempting to do my nails. You should talk to Nails in New York. Yolanda said, thank you. Of course. She was a limerick fetishist. Bill has a wonderful tribute. He said, in honor of Sabrina, I broke down and bought the new Arquette City t-shirt. So here's your share since David owns it. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. Thank you for being so democratic, Bill. David complained he had no cool shirts on his store. So we hooked him up. Future Reunion made an amazing new design, and it's at prowrestlingtees.com/RJ City. And I'm sure he'll end up spending the money on me anyway. So it all works out in the end. Nail said, I love RJ's laugh when a limerick makes him corpse. Is adorable. That one hit me in the heart too. SM said, where did I go? I lost you. SM said, I like the design of the Arquette City shirt, but felt they didn't do justice to RJ's jawline. Looks too similar to David's. Yeah, that's a disgrace. I'm going to get him to take out a ruler and redesign the whole thing. Philip said, RJ, you look amazing. Thank you. Bill said, we need a whole show of limericks just to test YouTube's limits. Look, I just won't get monetized. I'll have to request. There's only like one After Dark that's definitely not monetized. Is because I wrote, the title was Blue Meanie's Blue Balls. And that was my own mistake. Monkey said, RJ and Blue Meanie in the same room. Bosom buddies. Nail said, you're better than Ricky Gervais and all those other names you said that I don't know. Okay, not Dick Blasucci, but everyone else, yes. Bill said, you need to keep the spaces too when putting the name in too. Okay, so keep the spaces. Chad said, do you have a favorite coffee creamer? I like the So Delicious. You know what? No. Please keep all your coffee questions to Sunday morning in my coffee program. This is about debauchery. If you want questions about cream in another sense, I'd be happy to answer them. Coffee creamer. What do you think this is? I have two very separate demographics. I'm trying to service them both. Neil said, I'd buy a shirt of David on that massive chair, his sad pouting chair in his house. That's gigantic. Cactus Kelly said, is the Balding Child sketch you're thinking of called Fuzzy Memories? I love those. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. And it could be, but I'll know it obviously the second I see it, because it's literally about a 12-year-old kid who's just bald. Bill said, it's National Podcast Day. So Bill Beretta was advertising the podcast earlier. Go support everyone. They're really adorable, and I hope to work with them soon. Tabby said, I'm surprised the Night of Glory holes didn't get demonetized. Well, there's nothing wrong with a bit of glory. Nail said, stick to the rules, people. Chad said, we need an RJ Blue Meanie collaboration. Have we done anything together? No, other than this, really, and that one picture we took of each other. That's it. I'm sure we will in the future. Bill said he was wrong. Nail said, are you still thinking of doing a podcast? I'm thinking about it. We're ruminating. I'm going to focus group it. And you're going to get other people's thoughts on it too. SM said, gives a whole new meaning to non-dairy creamer. Hey, Cactus with a wonderful, bringing it full circle, power and glory holes, I'll say. Tabby said, if only Blue Meanie had a podcast, RJ could be on. If only. Nell said, I love the wavy hair. Thank you. I don't know why it's like this, but I'm not going to complain. Blue Meanie said, since it is the After Dark themed show, which coffee creamer is best to butt chug? Well, orally, I'm not lactose intolerant, but otherwise I am. So I prefer the So Delicious, the coconut milk-based creamer. and it is French vanilla flavored, and that helps me to freshen it up on the way out too. It's like an internal deodorizer. Patrick Boone said, your tag finisher called Blue Jay Way. Well, that's geo-specific. Nail said, I know it's Wednesday, but I wasn't prepared to butt chug. Neither am I. Or else this would have a little funnel on it. Richard said, what are your thoughts on coconut water? I love it. Although it's almost like regular water, where they don't all taste the same, so you really got to experiment. One I love, I think it's by Vita Coco, is the cold pressed coconut juice. I also love having coconut water from an actual coconut. Those young coconuts, young Thai coconuts, whatever the hell they are, and you, oh, delightful. Really delightful. It makes you work for it, too. It knows how good it is. Tabby said, so much for the lactose tolerant left. Well, you'll have to, it does hook sometimes. Neil said, someone who loves coconut water rolls their eyes at fart jokes. Well, what are you going to do? Maki said, the original flavored Vita Coca is nasty. It is. It's like, there's a staleness to it. That's kind of like a weird aftertasty kind of thing. Makes me tremendously uncomfortable. Let's get back to some limericks, shall we? Oh, Lord. There was a young girl of Kalina. Yes. Had a very capricious vagina. To the shock of the fucker, 'twould suddenly pucker and whistle the chorus of Dinah. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn, your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Tabby said, I wonder if I could get away with marketing Coca-Cola. That's possible. No, you'll get sued. Come sit on my knee and see what rises. Jesus, Chris. Bill said, so besides Tony Randall, who's the one impression you do that Jessamine really doesn't like? Jessamine hates when I do an impression of Jessamine Duke. Neil said, you pull great faces. Well, it's kind of, I give good facials. Kiana said, oh my God. Oh no, said Danny. Karen said, later, have a great evening. Good night, Karen. SM is just laughing. Neil said, ha, Bill, you keep getting that voice. I don't know why, but I'm fine with it. A lady with features cherubic was famed for her area pubic. Barely rhymes. When they asked her its size, she replied in surprise, are you speaking of square feet or cubic? It's a clever measurement joke. Tabby said, fun fact, Dinah Shore wasn't a bunch of sand at the meeting of Sea and Land. No, she was a wonderful singer, talk show host. Nell said, hello, hey lady, didn't even and wash your sinks. SM said, one more Travolta for the road. One more cup of coffee for the road. One more cup of coffee before I go to the valley below. That's John Travolta doing Bob Dylan. Nell said, butt chugs and good facials tonight. That's the tagline. Yeah, I'm not going to get monetized with that title. Val said, please read a limerick as Travolta. Yes, okay, hold on. Oh, Jesus. Yolanda said she better marinate in that prune juice. Maki said, how has Dalton Castle been doing? I haven't seen a lot of him online lately. He actually was hanging out with David Arquette tonight. He had a fantastic match with Jay Lethal at Ring of Honor. And, you know, I think now that he's back in stuff, he's just figuring it out. And I love him, and I think we'll all do something nice together someday, some way, somehow. Maybe it'll just be brunch. All right. Travolta limerick. There was a young fellow named Cribs whose cock was so big it had ribs. They were inches apart, and to suck it took art, while to fuck it took 42 trips. I fucked that up. Let me do another one. There was a young man from Hong Kong who had these words don't make any sense. That's weird. Oh, here we go. A fellow whose surname was Hunt trained his cock to perform a slick stunt. This versatile spout could be turned inside out like a glove and be used as a... I'm not going to say the word, man. It's gross. I don't want to say it. People are going to walk away from me. I'm not going to let go. I want to stay monetized. Danny said Dalton's match during the Pure Tournament was so good. Nell said Dalton had cans of loose White Claw on him. That's fair. Team Rib, said Kiana. Dear Lord. Tabby said, fun fact, Dalton Castle isn't a secure building made of stone. He's very fragile. Aaron said, Mamma Mia. I don't know which is my favorite, the limerick laugh or his outtakes laughs. Oh no, well, we're there. Let's do one more. There was a young fellow named Kimball, whose prick was exceedingly nimble, but fragile and slender and dainty and tender, so he kept it encased in a thimble. One more. There was a young man of Madras whose balls were constructed of brass. That's crazy. When jangled together, they played stormy weather and lightning shot out of his ass. To recap on all the business as we wrap up, tomorrow, 9 p.m., doing a wonderful wrestling seminar. You can find it on my Twitter and my Instagram if you want to sign up and listen to me ramble about stuff, but in a way more serious tone. Number one, Friday, 10 p.m., I'm doing Stokely Hathaway's show, Stoke by Night, the Bivens Hour, whatever the hell it is. And then Sunday, I'll see you for more coffee and underwear. And there's video games tomorrow. There will be Hollywood Squared Circle after that, and much more idiocy afoot, because this is my life now, and there's no turning back. So long. Godspeed. And good night.